Hi, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm Holly. Today I'm reading Messy Neighbors from Reddit. Let's get into it. I, 22 female, had sex with my neighbor, 30 male, once. Is his current behavior weird? Or am I being overdramatic? Well, we'll be the judge of that, won't we? I made the mistake of having sex with my neighbor. We live in the same building, and I came home from a night out about 2 weeks ago and met him in the hallway. We got to talking, and he invited me back to his place. So we had a drink, one thing led to another, and we had sex. Ooh. I have to admit the sex was pretty awkward and bad. Oh no. I'm cringing as I write this, but as we were doing it, he told me he loved me. Ooh. We had spoken about twice before this night, so I got my first impression. Maybe he was a bit strange. Ooh. He's already in love with you. Oh no. Red flag. I was really embarrassed by the whole thing, thought he would be too, and not very maturely decided to just avoid him. I thought he would get the hint, that it was just a drunk one-time thing, and I wasn't interested. But I kept seeing him all the time. I think he must have worked out what time I leave and get back from work, because I started bumping into him way more than I used to. I kept the conversation short and acted uninterested because I thought he would just get the hint and back off a little. I guess I was just avoiding that awkward conversation, telling him I wasn't interested, but in no way was encouraging him. Yeah, some people just don't really get the hint. You have to be upfront, you have to be blunt. He persisted, and then a few days ago he added me on Facebook, which I ignored. The next time I saw him, he asked me why I hadn't accepted his friend request. So I decided to be a bit more assertive and said something like, "The other night was fun, but I'm really not interested in anything." He was quite upbeat and replied, "Okay, that's cool, but we can still be friends." So I thought maybe I had been a bit immature toward him, and now I've told him my intentions, and we could be friends. Something tells me he wants to be more than friends. I still think he's being a bit overly friendly with me. I'm sure he's waiting to bump into me, because I see him like all the time. He also is not shy about asking personal questions, like about ex-boyfriends and stuff. I get that some people are more open about some things, but I find it a little weird. On Facebook, he has liked so many of my pictures. I know we all stalk some people on Facebook, but he's very obvious about it. He has also messaged a couple times asking me to hang out. My question is his behavior weird, or am I just being overdramatic? I am happy to be his friend, but I feel like he's being a bit over the top. I don't want to act like a bitch towards him, but I don't really know how to tell him to tone it down without coming across as one. He is someone I will probably keep seeing, so I feel like I have to be nice to him, but he is weirding me out a bit. Girl, you don't have to be nice to anyone you don't want to be nice to. Someone's giving you the creeps, you don't have to give them the time of day, even if they're your neighbor. This story comes with updates. How exciting, huh? Ooh, we got an update. The first thing I did was delete and block him from Facebook, but that's the easy bit because I was still going to have to talk to him in person. I coincidentally ran into him on Monday. The first thing he said to me was, "Have you deleted your Facebook or something? Because I can't find you anymore." So I went for it and gave a long speech about how he's a nice guy and I thought we could be friends, but I feel like I'm leading him on by hanging out together as I'm not really interested. He replied that he really does just want to be friends and that it would be more awkward now if we're not. I just said something like, "I don't want to give you the wrong impression, so I think it's best for now if we're not." And then I just quickly left before he said anything else. I feel like a bit of a bitch saying it, but I guess it needed to be said, and I'm glad I did it because he was overwhelming me. So far, it worked, and I haven't actually seen him since then, but it's only been like 2 days. However, last night, I got a rambling long letter through my door. A letter? It came quite late, so I'm almost hoping he was drunk or something when he delivered it, because it's kind of fucking weird, and also vaguely insulting. I think I will type it out, as it's difficult to explain the tone of the letter. Here it is. Dear ... You didn't give me much chance to speak the other night, and there is more that I wanted to say, though this might actually be an easier way for me to explain my thoughts and feelings. I know we had only talked a few times before our tryst, but I felt like there was an obvious connection between us. I'm sure you must have felt it too, or I don't think you would have come home with me that night. I'm not the type of guy who sleeps with the girls I don't really know, but I was extremely attracted to you, and when it appeared you reciprocated my feelings, I couldn't help myself. When you told me you weren't interested in anything romantic, I understood, even if it's not what you wanted to hear. I don't know anything about your personal life, part of the reason why I'm not usually interested in one-night stands, and so of course I realize you might not be interested in me. However, I think it is strange that you don't want to at least be friends. We shared a very intimate moment with each other, and you can't pretend it never happened. It therefore seems only logical that we become friends. It only makes it more awkward if we aren't. He already said this to you in person, kinda. I just want to say, if you feel embarrassed or worried that I think of you as slutty, don't be. I don't judge you. That would be a terrible double standard, though be careful because some men may see your behavior as slutty, especially if you refuse to talk to them after. Oh my gosh. Just like when a guy doesn't call a girl after they sleep together, he's an asshole. Wow, he's calling you a slut. Really, the point of me saying all this is just to repeat that I understand that you're not interested in a relationship with me, and I respect that. However, I was just going to say it. I really like you. You're a fun, smart, and beautiful girl, and I would love to get to know you more. I don't think you can deny that we get along very well, because that night, I don't think that what happened should change anything. Don't think you're leading me on. I'm a grown guy, and I know that no means no and can handle just being friends with you. But I respect what you said to me, even if it hurt a little, and will keep my distance from you from now on. If you change your mind, and if you ever want to talk to me, or if you need anything, you know where I live, and I will always welcome you. That's what neighbors are for, right? This guy is creepy. He slipped this note under your door? Right. I do feel a bit bad because he obviously does like me and has put a lot of emotional value on what happened between us. But I just don't feel like I can deal with someone as intense as him. Maybe it's just me, but I do think that his letter has confirmed that he is a bit odd. So I am glad I said what I said and was upfront with him. I think he will leave me alone now. He has so far, and though I hope if we do see each other we can be polite and it won't be awkward. But it probably will. Yeah, I would avoid this guy, for sure. And if the letters continue, maybe a restraining order. Update number 2. Update number 2. I was hopeful there would be no more updates to this because he managed to go for about a week without contacting me. I hadn't seen or heard from him in a few days, so I thought things were blowing over and he had got over it. Then yesterday afternoon I was getting some stuff out of my car and suddenly hear his voice say, "Hey, do you need a hand?" Of course, we were going to see each other again at some point, and I thought I was polite to him when I said, "Hey, no, I'm fine, thanks." I really don't think this was rude and really didn't need any help anyway, but he seemed to get offended by it and started to get mad at me. He said something like, "What's your problem? I'm only trying to help you. All I've ever done is be nice to you, but you still act like a bitch." I think he said more, but I was kind of shocked at how he reacted. He stormed off before I could say anything, but I don't even know what I would have said, as I was a bit stunned, and also totally embarrassed because there were people around who probably heard it all. I was also a bit upset because I know that he is allowed to feel a bit used or whatever, as he obviously liked me more than I liked him, but I do think this outburst was uncalled for. I have made my feelings clear to him now, and sometimes the truth hurts, but I don't think he has to take it out on me like this. Yeah, you might have to get a restraining order. He is straight up stalkery. Him yelling at you and mad at you because you wouldn't let him carry in your groceries. Just trying to get in your house. That's creepy. This morning I woke up to another letter. Another letter. Oh boy. This one is quite short, and so I will type it out again. Dear ... I want to apologize for shouting at you earlier. This guy bipolar or something. I want to apologize for shouting at you earlier. I let my anger get the better of me, and I'm sorry about that, but I can't help but get frustrated at your behavior. I get that you're not interested in me, and that you don't want to be my friend, even if I do find it strange. However, when someone is trying to help you, it is good manners to accept it, or at the very least, be grateful. Again, I'm sorry, and I realize I need to think about the way I acted, and will try not to do it again. By the way, this is how adults deal with awkward situations. They don't pretend like they never happened. Hope you accept my apology and the little bit of advice that I gave you. What? This guy's crazy. He is super crazy. Oh my God. Girl, I don't know. Maybe you need to get your landlord involved or something, because I don't think he's going to leave you alone. Okay. Let's keep reading. Maybe I should be grateful he apologized. No. But I almost think this letter is worse, because he's not even trying to hide the insults and is totally patronizing. I don't know how to deal with him anymore. He seems to have gotten over his love for me, but now he has some grudge against me. If he really thinks all this about me, I don't even know why he wants to talk to me and be friends. It must have been like a month since we had sex now anyway, so I don't know why he can't accept it and move on. I kind of want to talk to him again now, but I get the feeling that that's what he wants me to do. Should I just ignore him and hope he gets bored when he realizes I won't give him any attention? Or should I tell him again, more assertively, that I want him to leave me alone? I'm so fucking stressed about seeing him again, though, because I don't know what he's going to be like. Girl, don't even bother trying to talk to him. Stay away from this guy. Update number 3. Hopefully, this is the final one. Things have happened quite quickly since my last update. I was still kind of undecided whether to write to him to tell him to leave me alone, as this would give me proof of things, if things went further, or to just ignore him. Anyway, I called my brother, who I don't initially want to tell about this, but I should probably tell someone in my family. Yeah, you should definitely speak up, let others know that you got someone creeping on you. He was totally adamant that I shouldn't contact him and I should call the cops if he continues. So I took his advice and decided not to communicate with my neighbor. Brother's got sound advice. I sort of regret telling my brother now because he really did not help the situation. I had been out on Friday night and stayed over at my friend's house, so I didn't get back until Saturday morning. I came back wearing what I had been out in, so to my neighbor it probably looked like I spent the night with a guy, so this may have made him a bit more angry. He was in the hallway when I got back. I'm totally sure he had been waiting for me, and said to me, "I don't appreciate getting threatening messages from your brother." I honestly had no idea what he was talking about, so I said that, and I found out that my brother had sent him some kind of threatening message telling him to leave me alone. He then was saying stuff like, "Why can't you tell me this stuff yourself? Why can't you just at least talk to me? I just don't understand you." I responded something like, "I'm sorry about the messages. I didn't know he sent them. I don't want you to contact me, and you keep sending me those letters, and I think he was just worried about me." This is when he got pretty angry, and he was saying stuff like, "What are you worried about?" and how he had been trying to be nice. Yeah, he actually said it. He pretty much just repeated what he said in the letters, but it was the first real time he actually scared me a little. I didn't really know what to do, but then he called me a slut to my face, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not listening to this anymore. Leave me alone, and I went straight to my apartment. As I was walking away, he tried to backtrack and apologize, but I didn't want to give him any more attention, so I ignored him. The first thing I did after this was talk to my brother again, because I was kind of annoyed at him for getting involved, and I wanted to find out exactly what he said. He sent in this message: "You need to leave my sister alone. You are creeping her out. If you don't, there will be consequences." So I guess it does sound a little threatening, but not as bad as I thought it might have been. Even though I was worried that my brother's message might have been seen as provocation, I decided I was going to call the police. Good. Call the police. Good. I waited until the next day because I was tired and it had gotten a bit late after talking to my brother. I shouldn't have been surprised that I woke up to another letter. I think he likes having the last word. It's not very long, so I'll type it out again. Oh my god, another one. What? Dear ... I'm sorry for some of the things that I said to you yesterday. I didn't mean them, but the heat of the moment got to me. I did feel threatened by what your brother said to me. All I have tried to do is talk to the person I live next door to after I had sex with them. You've made it pretty clear you're not interested in me, and I have accepted that. However, I have explained to you multiple times that I find it strange that you don't want to talk, so I think you could be more understanding to my feelings instead of just labeling me as a creep. I think we need to talk like adults, in person, because I feel so frustrated that you don't understand what I've tried to say to you in my letters, and the only way to do it now is face to face. I won't let my anger get the better of me like it has previously, and surely you must see this better idea than getting your brother to send me messages. There was no way I was going to talk to him in person again, as the last 2 times we spoke he just got angry with me and called me a slut and a bitch. I wanted the whole situation over, so I called the police. Good! It was a non-emergency thing, and they were actually very helpful. And they asked me to go to the station, and I had to show all the stuff he sent me, the letters, the Facebook messages, etc. They filed a report, and originally they offered to call him, but when I told them I don't have his number, they said they would go and talk to him. This isn't a restraining order. He hasn't been charged or anything. All I have done is file a police report, and we have both agreed not to contact each other, and if either one of us contacts each other, then it will go further. I was sort of expecting him to send another letter after this, but he hasn't. I know it's only been a couple days, but I do feel better about the situation. I'm going to stay here for now. I might talk to my landlord, but I don't think he would let me break my lease. If I feel like I don't want to stay, I think my brother would help me out with money. I do feel bad about what happened, and of course I should have never had sex with him. The number one lesson I have learned is don't sleep with your neighbor. But if anyone reading this finds themselves in a situation, I guess my advice is trust your instinct and go talk to the cops, because it can be helpful, and it doesn't mean they're going to start arresting people. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you got your brother involved and you got the cops involved. Like, this guy's creepy. He was trying to get you alone, I think, again. And who knows what he would have done to you. Super creepy. Gaslight, stalking, accusing, waiting up for you, slipping notes under your door. Yeah, red flag guy, where you at? Where you at? This was posted 8 years ago, so this is an older one, but wow, crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!